Welcome to the Mojo Market Report. Here's your hosts, Dave Sturchio and Chris Gucci.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Mojo Market Report right here on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, April the 16th, 2023. And, of course, Dave Sturchio, sunglasses on the head. Chris Gucci is here, and we're coming to you live from Chop Studios, as always, in Matawan, New Jersey. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody enjoyed the old sports last night, the old break from the NBA playoffs, which was, again, harder for us because it was just like, all right.
You were about to talk about like the break that I didn't do yesterday. You were like, the break? I was like,
oh, no, not that break. But if you want to break cards.
No, I fell asleep last night in the studio.
That happens.
Like a waste of life.
I mean, that happens.
But
we're grinding over here.
I had a full job in front of me. I set it all up, and I was like, you know what? I sat down on the phone with Joe, and we all know how that goes.
Yeah,
I was
that's
on the phone for 45 minutes, and I woke up after midnight, fully clothed.
Interesting.
In the studio.
In your old cold sweats. Anyway, so everybody's doing well. Hey, listen, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, because we have some NFL stuff to get into, believe it or not. Mini camps are happening right now, or they're at least wrapping up. A lot of cool reports coming out of some of these respective, early draft pick camps, of how they look right now in their new look offenses and defenses. Something I had to touch on, heard about it coming in, did not see the Yankee game. Happy as pig and crap that they won again last night, beating Toronto. They're right there, so they have to continue to win these games. But the story of the morning is that for whatever reason, they're claiming that Aaron Judge, I don't want to say the word cheated because it's not the right word at all. But there was a point.
What are they claiming? They're claiming that he cheated.
The headlines from Toronto are saying Toronto broadcasters accuse Aaron Judge of cheating. So here's the deal. It's very, very simple, very apparent. He's up at bat right before he looks. If I'm looking at a bat right here, I shoot a look quick with my eyeballs to either the first base coach or the dugout. Now, in baseball, traditionally, if you tip your pitches, that's on the pitcher.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on this situation. Aaron Judge, look. Whatever's going down on the field of play, if you're showing your pitches and there's a coach on first base that's getting the pitches, by all means, look down at your coach and find out what pitch he's throwing. If there's a guy on second base and he's stealing signs, that's baseball. If there's a buzzer attached to his chest, that's cheating. If there's someone in the background smashing a trash can that you can't see, that's cheating. But if you're tipping your pitches or you're giving your signs are able to be stolen, change your friggin' signs. This is Major League Baseball, bro. They're looking for every advantage. That, to me, is not cheating. And I would say the same thing if it was David Ortiz doing it to Mariano Rivera.
Now, is there anything to investigate on the response? That's what people are starting to look.
No.
He's given like a smirk in the clubhouse, saying like, the reason why I looked over there is because my coaches were chirping and Booney was chirping, and I'm telling these guys, hey, listen, man, I wanted to figure out who was making all that noise because I'm at bat right now and I need to focus.
Maybe he should have just said, yeah, the pitcher sucks and the catcher is giving the signs away, and my coach knew what he was throwing, so I went to look at my coach to find out exactly what pitch I was about to deposit into the bleachers.
I mean, he did. Listen, it was a hanging slider, and he rocked that thing over 400 feet.
Look,
I'm just saying it's a headline this morning.
I think we're splitting hairs here. What do you want these players to do? That's not cheating, if you ask me. I think that's just part of the game, right? And I stand on that, and it has nothing to do with Aaron Judge. If there's an extra buzzer or there's something else extracurricular happening, but if
there's tech involved,
there's tech involved, yeah.
That's not good. And we've seen what happened to the Astros, which is nothing actually.
And the Astros thing was a little more layered than that. There was somebody in the bleachers videotaping, and then it was like a transmitted.
In real time. That was a.
It wasn't anything like.
I don't want to call it like
curveball.
Right.
I mean, first of all, Aaron Judge kind of, a lot of times they guess what pitches are coming anyway, and they're right.
I mean, you have to. Isn't that part of the game? You guess what's coming?
Depends on what type of hitter you are.
If you're playing a video game, that's how you make contact better when you know what's coming.
Guys like Pujols see the ball, hit the ball. They didn't go up there with any expectation. They had tendencies maybe in mind and what they might try to do to get him out. But guys like Posada, pure guess hitters. You see them look really bad sometimes in the box. It's because they're completely guessing on every pitch on what's coming, and a lot of guys have success that way, but certain guys don't do it at all. They
I'm
just
with
react.
it. Got some NFL news. Got some NFL stuff to talk about. Yesterday, Matt Ryan, Coach Ryan, Matt Ryan announced that he's going to be joining
Joel ass out of here, Matt.
the CBS Sports, either the pregame show or one of their sports networks. CBS is all over the place. Actually, you know what? I wanted to touch on this. I guess I should. Before Matt Ryan, did you see the new Peacock deal for the one playoff game? There is a lot of fans up in arms about this because they're exclusively
Everyone
streaming
just shut
a
your
playoff
mouth
game.
and fall in line.
I'm just saying they're streaming. This is a delay. This is not live. This is like streaming is a different ballgame. It made me, when I switched over to YouTube TV to get the NFL ticket, the one thing that I was concerned about was not having the game in real time because technically with streaming, you are behind a little bit. I don't know if you can ever fix that. I'm sure, listen, with all the technology, they probably can.
Is anyone ever on this little platform going to be ahead?
Probably not, ever.
So then, if everyone else is on the same plane,
Well, that's what I said, but
then there's going to be live tweets and things like that. Get on Twitter, bro. I love that. I love that.
I hate that.
Bro, I sit in the other room.
There's nothing worse than to get a text from a buddy who's watching it on a different platform of saying like, "Holy crap, did you see that?" And I'm like, "I'm on a bounty commercial. What are you talking about?"
I'll plant my mother in the room that's ahead of me by a couple seconds, just so I could get it out of my system before I watch it, because she can't control herself. So anything that happens, but then again, she also, my mom definitely knows football. This is not a knock. She's watched a ton of Packer games, but not every time is her reaction on point, if that makes sense. So it's like,
I'll never forget. I think it was 2001, the Arizona Yankees series, World Series. For whatever reason, my TV downstairs in my living room was ahead of the TV that was up in my room. But that's 2001, so I don't know how that really worked.
About Kurt Schilling giving up a game-winning home run to Soriano in that one before we blew it.
But I heard, I was up in my bedroom watching the game, and I heard my dad yell "Oh no!" And I was like, "Oh no!" It just happened. I was like, "Holy crap!" So I know that feeling all too well, and I don't like it at all. So in any event, people are up in arms about it. They're very upset about it.
Everyone just fall in line and watch the game how they're going to give it to you. That's what's going to happen anyway. We could complain all we want. It has zero bearing on the next decision.
I mean, the money that's being tossed by Peacock to the NFL.
Are we talking about
stupid?
Foot in the door for pay-per-view playoff games altogether?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, Peacock's going to stream a playoff game. I
want to see the outrage.
And what people are already predicting is that it's going to be the whoever wins the AFC South. That's going to be the home playoff game you're going to get in Peacock.
They're going to start charging for the Super Bowl, like a pay-per-view event.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
How much would
everybody
you throw?
would what?
How much would you throw down? Whatever they charged.
Whatever they charge.
So
don't put any ideas out into the universe where it's free right now. Good Lord. Don't do it. Anyway. Matt Ryan joins the CBS crew. He's not retiring, he said. This is not a retirement tweet. His stock on the Mojo Market dropped 1% since the announcement, because obviously he's probably not going to play this year unless there's a catastrophic injury to a starting quarterback who doesn't have a backup that's capable of, if a team is built to win
Matt
now.
Ryan is done.
I was just going to ask you. That was the question.
Matt Ryan.
His future projections is 50 cents. He usually makes $7-8 a year on the Mojo Market. Is it over? Is he just too full of pride? Why is this a thing?
All right, Matt Ryan or Carson Wentz, who are you taking? Carson Wentz.
I mean, you're not. That's not close.
100 times over.
Nope, taking Matt Ryan.
I'm taking Carson Wentz 100 times
Matt
over.
Ryan
I'm taking the chance at Geno Smith over the chance at nothing.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the comeback, he has a resurgence, blah,
still,
blah, blah. Carson Wentz is not on a roster right now, so therefore that goes to show you he sucks.
Neither is Matt Ryan, but Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but he's old.
Carson Wentz will get a shot this year. Matt Ryan won't.
Do you think Carson Wentz finds a roster?
Yeah, I do.
I think he's garbage.
Because Carson Wentz is tucking his tail and he's saying, "I'll be whatever you guys need me to be." So if he gets in,
there's no other option.
But fair.
I would go in there and compete. No, you're not.
Knowing where you're at in your career and just saying, "Hey, I have some acceptance here. I'm down to go try and prove it and earn another crack." How old is he?
I don't know. He's probably in his 30s.
He's not. He's probably under 30.
Carson Wentz?
Yeah, right around. How old is Dak?
Right around 30.
Yeah, so they're right around the same age.
Yeah, they are. They got drafted. He's 30.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz is 30. He's on the wrong side of 30.
But he's
30 in a couple days. He's on the wrong side.
In quarterback years, especially a guy that's not necessarily playing every game anymore. You know what I mean? He might be able to kind of get healthy a little bit, and we'll see. I don't think Carson Wentz is an NFL caliber quarterback, but I do think Carson Wentz brings something to the table as a backup.
I just can't believe all the
Commanders.
asking price
the Commanders didn't really give him any chance at success, if you ask me. I'm not saying he would have.
You're telling me last year with the squad they had on last year,
offensive line gave up 45 sacks in the 10 games that he played in.
That is an issue in the NFL. That is an issue. All right. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is some of these faces in new places, meaning some of these draft picks that got drafted
9 times by the Cowboys.
9 times. Remember that in the movie?
No.
Come on. Ferris Bueller, when he's been absent.
Bro,
your son has been absent 9 times.
I know one line
9
from
times?
that movie.
9
Bueller. Also overrated movie.
That's a show, everybody. I can't do this. I can't work with this guy. He don't like
it's
nothing.
It's a good movie, but if you watch that movie more than twice in your life, you have issues. You have serious issues.
Anyway,
it's not that good.
Moving on.
Risky Business is way better.
Never saw it. I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise.
What?
I'm not. I think he's a weirdo. I think he's a weirdo. Everything he's ever done, I'm like, what a weirdo.
Dude, they're all weirdos.
It's true. It's
they're all
Hollywood.
weirdos.
Hollywood after all.
Matthew Broderick is probably such a normal guy, I bet.
Yeah, he's great in The Cable Guy. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to pick a couple players. It's a this or that guy. And whoever you pick, would you pick him over following players that are literally just beneath him that may have a chance to be better? So I'm going to start in the running back department. Obviously, the highest running back chosen this year's the draft was Bijan Robinson. Everybody kind of knew that. We didn't really know how high he would go, but he went. Or Jahmyr Gibbs. That's going to be over there. Detroit, they ship off DeAndre Swift. They have David Montgomery there in a supplemental role, you would think. Does Gibbs get that start right away? So who are you taking as far as opportunity out of the two?
I'm going to take Bijan because we're talking about arguably the best running back prospect since Saquon or AP.
Did you hear about Saquon, by the way?
He doesn't want to play.
He turned down $14 million a year.
Yeah, he should have.
Oh, my God.
Like Aaron Jones got 16 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah,
that
but
makes sense.
It's not going to work.
Well, I mean.
It's not going to work. The Giants should rescind the franchise tag and say, you want that money? Go get that money. Not one team is giving you that money. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
That's not true. That team will 100% give him that money.
1,000% true. Will not give him any more than what the franchise tag would have paid him this year. 10. He's going to be making the same money as Tony Pollard this year.
And that's a travesty.
It is, but the mighty have fallen, haven't they?
I don't want you to get on the perch here of that Saquon is out of pocket asking for what he's asking for. The Giants owe their playoff berth
based off of what you've seen.
To him.
Based off of what you've seen in the NFL with the running backs and how they're just completely devalued. You think this guy's going to get more than what they want?
No, it's just troubling coming from a Zeke apologist.
No.
To hear about
Zeke's he's unemployed right now. I can't do.
But my point being,
Zeke is the reason why this whole thing started.
But you defended the Zeke contract tooth and nail for
7 years. So
I agree that the Giants shouldn't pay it to him. But I do think a team would. 100%. There's a team out there that would pay it to him. Hey.
Yeah, I'm back. That's how to do it.
So there is a team out there that would pay Saquon money. Let's just start naming some teams that suck at
football.
Suck at doing things, right?
The Cardinals.
Texans, the Cardinals.
Yeah, all right, fine. I listen. I get it. I understand it. You're taking Bijan.
I would say the
now
Falcons,
are you taking
the Lions,
Bijan?
But they're
Bijan's coming in.
I would take Bijan over Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, so Bijan's coming in at $15.50 right away. That's more money to invest in than Breece Hall, Tony Pollard, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne. Would you take any of those running backs right now if you're starting your Dynasty League over a Bijan Robinson?
I would not.
You would not.
I would
so
not.
No shot at a resurging Najee Harris. No shot at a Breece Hall off the injury. No shot at Tony Pollard off of the injury, but a new role.
Well, if we're looking at this in terms of what? Dynasty fantasy football? We're looking at this in
your
Mojo.
Long-term Mojo
investment. I feel like they got to rocket up Bijan's ass in terms of the public, right? So
I agree.
I think if
That's
he does
a high price.
If he does anything good, he's going to see an immediate uptick, like maybe more so than. But
isn't that kind of counter to what we look for in the Mojo Market?
No, because there's still a ton of room right there. He hasn't played it down yet in the NFL, so he hasn't banked any value. This is all on projection. The minute he makes good on it, and I know what I know about Atlanta and Arthur Smith, guess what they're going to do a lot of?
They're going to run the ball.
They're going to run the football.
Yeah.
I worry a little bit about the backs that they have there already. But if we're talking this or that guy, Jahmyr Gibbs, there's also David Montgomery, who I feel like is going to steal a healthy share of goal line carries, if not just carries in general. They're going to use Montgomery. They paid him not a lot of money, but they didn't bring him in to just sit the bench. And we saw the kind of how they worked their offense last year. So
Breece Hall was on a trajectory to maybe win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
last
but now
year.
but that was when they were a very, very, very obvious run first team, right?
And now you have Aaron
And now
Rodgers.
he's got Aaron Rodgers, and there's an ACL. So I do think that Breece Hall is a solid buy right now by all estimations. But if we're talking about who I think has a chance to be a Hall of Famer,
Bijan.
with Bijan,
Cool.
I'm taking Bijan over all these guys. And honestly, I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over all of them except Breece Hall. And maybe Travis Etienne, because for whatever reason, Travis Etienne's stock is still very low. I think he's entering a situation on an offense where they got weapons now in Jacksonville.
They do.
Calvin Ridley getting added to that offense. Christian Kirk. Who's the other receiver that they have? Zay Jones?
Zay.
Right? So that's the three formidable options.
Evan
And
Ingram.
Evan Ingram, who I think is a little upset, and they talked like he's going to play on the tag, but he's not happy. I'm sure he'll be there.
Sure he will.
And the defense on that side, on the other team, the defensive side of the ball is going to allow for that offense to get the ball a lot, because I think Jacksonville's defense is largely underrated going into this season.
Moving on over
Etienne is a guy that I'm in on.
Moving on over to the wide receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigba over with Seattle, or Jordan Addison, who got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings after the departure of one Adam Thielen. Who are you taking out of the two of those guys? One guy's got Geno Smith, one guy's got Kirk Cousins. Is it a Spider-Man meme type situation, or is somebody have more potential? Because look at the room around him. Obviously, Jordan Addison has to not compete, but he's going to be around one of the best in the league in Justin Jefferson. And obviously, the emergence of a give me the third guy over there.
KJ
Osborne, right? So he's got company over there, but so does Jackson Smith. He's got DK, Lockett, guys over there. Who are you taking out of the two?
I think Addison's in a better spot, personally. Right?
Okay.
I think it's a really good fit for him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to outperform Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know how it's going to shake out. I think one of the better position battles to look for in camp this year is going to be who's going to be the guy that runs the slot, who runs the two opposite Jefferson.
Okay.
Between Osborne and I feel like it's clear cut what's happening in Seattle. Nobody's going to take Lockett's job. Nobody's going to take DK's job. But you get I think Jackson Smith could kind of fill a little bit of both roles and adds a real element when there's the three guys out there. I would probably say that based on just what I think is going to happen in Minnesota, I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot this year. I think Dalvin Cook gets cut. And
we'll see about that. That's still heavy on the rumors.
Well, that's not a rumor anymore. They're gonna cut him if he doesn't take a pay cut. That's announced. And
I think he takes a pay cut.
You think he takes a pay cut, or gets to sign wherever he wants?
I don't. That's the thing, bro. Who's going to spend that kind of money on a running back right now?
Okay. So definitely not the Vikings, right?
Fine. Definitely not the Cowboys.
So
definitely not the
Vikings.
Giants.
But
Definitely
if you're Dalvin Cook and they want to give you a pay cut, it's like, okay, well, I'll take the pay cut and go somewhere else. Back to Florida. I think he's a Dolphin, week 1.
Interesting. All right, so you're taking who out of the two of these guys?
I'm probably going to take Addison.
All right.
And that's kind of shitty because I'm a Packers fan, but I think Addison, opposite Justin Jefferson, I was high on him all last year in college. I was hoping the Packers would have made a move on him. Now I got to watch him opposite. Same deal with Jefferson, bro.
Addison over the following players: Alan Lazard over in New York, Darnell Mooney, who's probably not going to get any attempts, Christian Watson,
no,
and your boy Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce coming into another year where he's behind Pittman, and
all right. I think Addison's going to be a better player than Alec Pierce.
Okay,
all told.
It's not a bold. I don't think that's a bold take whatsoever. I think it's fine.
Maybe not. Like Alec Pierce could be Jordy in a couple years.
Could be.
He has that skill set. He has that size and speed and all that. It's just it took Jordy a while to get going too. I don't know about that one. Honestly, I think Alec Pierce is vastly underrated still. Look at that price.
Very true.
See what this quarterback of theirs could do.
Tight ends. Would you take Dalton Kincaid out of Buffalo or Michael Mayer out of Las Vegas? Again, Dalton Kincaid was jumped to get. The Buffalo Bills want to go get him, so they jumped up over the Cowboys to grab this kid. Michael Mayer slips a little bit. Who are you taking here and why? I mean, obviously it's Jimmy G throwing the ball, or it's Josh Allen.
Since we're talking about the Mojo Market, I'm going to go with the Bills tight end because they're just they're going to throw the ball all over the field. I know that there's a lot of options in Buffalo right now, but from what I'm hearing, he's not really being looked at as a tight end. He's being looked at as an option. So I think that they're going to insert him right away and create some real mismatches. Buffalo's about to get better offensively, even though they lost what I thought was, I mean, not really. I think that James Cook is probably their best running back, and he'll be the guy this year. So, but they got Latavius Murray. They got somebody. They have a little room over there.
The following players are right behind Kincaid, and I'm looking at him like I wouldn't even sniff any of these guys. One guy maybe, David Njoku, who hasn't panned out. Noah Fant over there in Seattle. He might have a better year this year 2 under Geno. We'll see. The one that kind of raises the flag is Dawson Knox, being that he was the starting tight end for the Buffalo Bills last year, and they drafted a tight end anyway. So it's like, do they not have the confidence in Knox, or do they just think that this guy Kincaid can play multiple roles? I just think
if you're looking at the trends in the NFL right now,
that's true.
Everyone's got a bunch.
That's true. And I did list Trey McBride over there in Arizona, but Arizona just looks to be a mess.
Trey McBride finished the season strong last year.
He did.
And tight ends take a little bit of time to get cooking. I'm very, very much in on Trey McBride for his NFL career. I don't know about what's going to happen with Arizona, but I'm imagining that who was their backup last year? Colt McCoy. They have to have moved on.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. It's week 1 is going to be Colt McCoy against Sam Howell.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Maybe Trey McBride and Colt McCoy worked a little bit together with the twos last year to start the season. So there might be a little. You know how like shitty quarterbacks need their tight end? Colt McCoy might be throwing
Colt McCoy might need his tight end. All right, so that's what we wanted to play a little game today, and we finished that up. So obviously going into the NBA real quick, obviously Game 1 Western Conference Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets obviously the higher seed. They're going to get the home court advantage in this one. And of course, when you look at how they've matched up this year, as my computer goes on a fritz. It's fun. They are 2-2. They split the season series. The closest game was their first matchup, as a matter of fact, and it was an 11-point win by the Nuggets. That's their closest game. After that, which again I had in front of me, they're like another 11-point win, a 16-point win, and a 13-point win. So it's like, yeah, I like that. I picked that off out of this mess of a computer. But anyway, when you look at this game, you look at this series, can the Lakers pull this off? Can the Lakers, the biggest thing right now would be to steal one in Denver. Do they do it on game 1, or do they have to have a feel-out process? And I don't ever want to say backs against the wall in game 2, but in reality, you don't want to lose both in Denver.
I think the Lakers have a very good chance to win a game. They're not going to win both games. I don't know if they're going to win any. I think Denver's a really good team. This is a very tough series for me to call because when I see Denver play, it's like, you know, when you're watching them each, it's like this team is winning. And I said that about the Lakers, and then I said that about the Denver Nuggets the very next day. So I was like, well,
guess what?
They both can't win.
There can only be one. And I think it goes down tonight. I think the Lakers are actually going to win this game tonight.
Is it fair to say, this is a Dave moment. Is it fair to say that the winner of this game will win the series? Has a better chance to win. Is
that something I would say? Oh, did I put MLB up there? My bad.
Did. Whoopsie-daisy. Is it fair to say that whoever wins this game has a better chance to win the series?
Mathematically, Chris, what it does is it does in fact give the advantage.
I really do feel like this game is very, very important because for the Lakers more so. I think Denver has confidence either way, and I think the Lakers are a confident team too. But right now, I think it's, in my opinion, like I need to see it to believe it with the Lakers over the Nuggets, and for me, that's why I think Game 1 is so important. Just from a fan's perspective, I don't know that the Lakers could beat the Nuggets. I want them to. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I am a big LeBron fan.
I would like to see a throwback championship, I think. I would, Lakers Celtics.
I would also like to see new blood in there. I would like to see Jokic get some credit that he deserves because I do think he was disrespected in the MVP race.
I mean, he's a walking triple-double.
He was the most valuable player. They did it for some political shit, and it had nothing to do with race. It said, in my opinion, is they didn't want to say that Jokic was as good as he was. And for you to win 3 straight MVPs, you enter rare air.
Rare air.
But now what we're seeing in the postseason is as he's passing Wilt Chamberlain triple-doubles, and it's like, no, he is that good, and he deserves the respect. You saw guys like Mark Jackson apologize for leaving him off the ballot entirely. Like, that shows you the issue that I'm talking about.
Yes,
it's like
sir.
how you leave that guy off the ballot entirely is an embarrassment to you and your ballot. He did apologize for it after.
I would say, here's my ballot going forward. I can't do this anymore. Take a ballot away.
The Joker is just that dude. And as much as I love LeBron, it's just when you see a guy playing at the level that he's at, it usually spells championship.
We'll see.
You saw
it goes
Giannis
down
a couple years back. There's certain guys that just take over. Dirk comes to mind a couple years, back with the Heat thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess what? The way to follow along, do some liquid prop bets. You can also bet some money lines over there on the Mojo Market and the Mojo app. You can also follow along as the competition keeps rolling on over there on Twitter, Instagram, and the old TikTok. And, of course, the Discord is the daily conversation to have over there for all your tips, advice, suggestions, all that stuff. It's over there on the old Discord.
Yeah.
So, basketball tonight. We're back in action. We break it all down tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Mojo Market Report. For Dave Sturchio, Chris Gucci, this has been another episode, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yay.